let's start with Bills versus the 49ers. Bills got the victory here. 49ers kept it close. I like to give credit to the 49ers in this game because I was like, hey, well done keeping it close, even though you had some bonehead plays in the secondary and some bonehead plays at quarterback. But the real story, and I want to begin with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Who, in this game, I know you love him. We all know that.
Yes.
Effusive praise for him. But the masses are falling in love with Josh Allen. And I think we got to see why. Or if you were not convinced before this game, I hope that you're becoming convinced now, because not only are the physical tools there, right, but you're starting to see things that they're able to do offensively with Josh Allen that perhaps they've not been able to do in the past. So let's just start with the offense there. And what struck you with Josh Allen? You already love him.
Yeah.
But what did you see in this game that you're like, wow, he's even impressing me?
It's off the charts good. I mean, that was a superstar performance. I mean, it really was. That was a San Francisco defense that's been hovering around the top 5 all year. They just the week before, let's not forget, made Sean McVay and Jared Goff look very ordinary and average, right? They've kind of found their groove here as of late to where they've been playing pretty good football on that side of the ball. There's 2 things I think that just break it down the simplest way for Josh Allen. One, just incredible athletic feats and his unbelievable skill set of being able to dance around the pocket, and even there's chaos around, the ability to dance around, yet still keep your composure and look down the field and make a play. His ability to throw outside the pocket and run away from some of those pass rushers, and some of the throws he made there were phenomenal. But I think here's the other aspect of it, and we've seen little inklings of this in this Bills run that they've kind of caught on fire, other than the Hail Murray game, right, which Josh Allen was good then. We're seeing Josh Allen start to become surgical and patient and become a really well-rounded quarterback. You know, we saw those games early in the year, the Chiefs, the Titans. Oh, no, big plays aren't there. They're used to big plays. What are they going to do? They don't have a run game. And, you know, I don't know if their short passing game was quite as developed as it is now. Plus, I don't know if they trusted him to always make quick decisions, fit it into a tight window and zone coverages and do those type of things. I don't think there's any fear of any aspect of his game now. And I think what you saw in that game the other night was, yeah, some drives and some plays where you went, whoa, 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 holy cow, what a throw, unbelievable scramble. Are you kidding me? And then we saw other drives where you just went 6 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards. Ooh, nice throw, good decision, good throw, good decision. Nothing wow factor, but just a whole lot of good in the quarterback world. And I think when you put those 2 things together, that's where you go special. Hey, there's a few plays in this game. I know, and I'm a fan, you're right, and I'm a little biased this way, but I wrote down, like, listen, this is Mahomes and Rodgers territory we're watching right now. These are throws and things he can do that only those 2 can do. And I'm not forgetting about Russell Wilson and stuff. Russell Wilson can't flick the ball the way Rodgers, Mahomes, and Josh Allen can. So I think all of that would be the big thing and my main theme and takeaway from the matchup itself.
The numbers back it up to some of the advanced metrics. So you look at next-gen stats. Allen outside the numbers. Obviously, arm strength is there, maybe unrivaled with anyone else in football.
It's up there.
He can sling it anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you're seeing him throw it all over the place. 15 of 18, a career-high 224 yards. This is outside the numbers, and 2 touchdowns. And I think the most amazing thing is the deep ball, because his completion percentage has gone up.
Yeah.
Right? His completion percentage is, what, 4th in football right now?
Thank you.
And it's just not dink and dunk offense.
Right.
So he was 6 for 6 on throws, 20 or more yards down the field, the most deep completions of any quarterback in a game this season. They're going deep, and they're completing them at a very high percentage, and they did it against a pretty good defense.
They did. That's what's scary about it. I think you said it right. Like, the degree of difficulty of these throws we're talking about are up there and rival anybody in football. I mean, him and Mahomes would be the 2 guys I would think of when they throw the ball 10, 15, 20 yards down the field. They can make more unbelievable throws and unbelievable positions and sidearm, underhand, over the top, whatever, and they can still be on the money. I think that's the big thing. I mean, I just think about the drive before the half. That just kind of capsulizes it all. Josh Allen, there's nothing there. He runs up in the pocket, throws a 20-yard laser as he's kind of running to the left sideline. Then the next play, oh, man, there's nobody open, and he runs to the right and throws a 25-yard laser along the sideline, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, the Niners played pretty good defense, and they just let them go 50 yards in 2 plays, and now they're going to kick a field goal before the half. That just speaks to it. So I think there was things, too, within the game where I want to give Brian Daboll credit, too, to where I think he just played the proper way. I think they played the proper game. I was actually interested. I wonder how the Bills are going to play this. Because are they going to try to play like we're scared of the 49ers offense a little bit and we need to control the clock and run the ball a little bit? And I was a little scared if they did that they would be overwhelmed. And then it would be 3rd and 12 like every series. And you're not going to beat the 49ers that way. Saleh's creative on third downs. Eventually they're going to get to you that way. But Brian Daboll took the approach of, I'm not fighting the 49ers in a phone booth. I just watched the Rams do that the week before, and the 49ers kicked the crap out of them. I don't want to do that, and we're not that good at doing that, so that wouldn't make sense. How about I spread it out? Their corners aren't all that good. They're not great man-to-man football team. I have a pretty good understanding of their defensive scheme and that Seattle scheme. I mean, Daboll was in New England all those years when they kept having to play, Seattle and that scheme when it was in its prime. So he understands how to expose it a little bit too. And I think between that and then also within spreading it out, hey, this is a good pass rush by the 49ers. It's not like it was last year. Maybe they wouldn't be able to get away with this quite as much if D Ford and Nick Bosa were there.
They made him scramble a few times.
But that's what's misleading. You're right. He scrambled a lot. On the telecast on Monday night, a few times the announcers went, they're not pressuring Josh Allen. And I wanted to go, but they've pressured him the last 7 plays. He's been under pressure. But just because he escaped and made a play happen didn't mean that the pressure didn't happen. No, he did a great job of doing that. And that's, of course, where he's special. But I think them coming out and attacking, spreading the field, allowing Josh Allen, hey, let's spread the field. This kind of lets me see some of their creative blitzes. They have to tip their hand a little bit more here than if we were condensed and you're like, I don't know where it's coming from. They're all together and it's a mishmash. I think it cleared it out that way. I think also with that spread it out, it made he goes, okay, it'll increase the rush lanes if he does need to scramble around and do that. And then I think last but not least is what we just talked about to tie it all together. They go, wait, the 49ers, they love to crowd the middle of the field. There's always 7 guys in the box, even when you're in the spread. I've been saying this for 2 years. You're going to beat the 49ers. Throw the ball outside the numbers. Throw the ball outside the numbers. Their cover 3 scheme, and when cover 3 doesn't work, they go to cover 4. It basically becomes man-to-man with that most route combinations on the outside. And that's where I give Daboll a lot of credit, too. He just went, wait, they're giving us throws out here. Why bang our head against the wall and try to throw it over the middle when there's a 10-yard completion to be had on the outside, a 20-yard out route to be had on the outside? And that's where they get dangerous in their approach. And
you have a quarterback who has the talent to be able to pull that off.
The receivers can do it. Yeah. The DBs have to respect those receivers and can't sit on 10 and 15-yard out routes, right? And then, yes, Josh Allen is fearless with those type of throws because him throwing a 20-yard out route is like you and me throwing the ball from here to there.
Yeah.
I mean, he feels as confident about hitting that on target as, you and I would be like, I can hit you from the chest from 2 feet away.
Right.
And that's how special he is that way.
Brian Daboll, you've been very complimentary of him all season long in what they've been able to do and been able to do it without a running game, which I do want to talk about in just a second. But one thing, Allen threw into a tight window only 5% of the time this week. That was the second lowest of any quarterback.
Yeah.
So the receivers were getting open.
They were.
Credit to Brian Daboll again. And one play I want to look at is that 23-yard touchdown to make it 24-10 in the third quarter. That was to McKenzie. He went in motion and got wide open. Do you remember that play? He went in motion on the wheel there, and it was kind of a pick play. I think Gabriel Davis picked off
awesome play. More. That is all Daboll.
It was wide open.
Point. You're right. And that's where we're going to get into some other teams and conversations here. That's why you do motions and aggressive motions before the snap. Not the kind of motion where it's like, blue 85. Oh, the guy went in motion, and now he's lined up over there. Whoa, the defense is so stressed. Oh, my gosh. Mm-hmm. That was a motion of blue 85, blue, oh, God, he's going. Blue 85 said hi. And you could see the 49ers are trying to communicate because the will linebacker is going to blitz, and now he's trying to tell the nickel back or the safety, I think it was in this case. He's going, wait, no, you got to go cover him now as he's blitzing. And they don't adjust quick enough. And then it leads to a little bit of a pick play rub over there because that coverage safety, he couldn't get his wits about him quick enough. And I'm sure he was told all week, they're going to do this, make sure you go over the top. But it happened in such a hurry and a flurry that he didn't. And then the beauty of it is not only the play call by Daboll, but Josh Allen's throw is beauty too. He doesn't let coverage come into play. Just the way he got the ball, he's open. Let me flick it out there real quick. Just how he does that. And he just throws it up high and soft and lets his guy run it, and the DB can never make a play.
Patient enough to wait the extra beat to make sure he's wide open.
Exactly right, and then make the appropriate throw. But, yes, it was all that, and I think, the 49ers, they haven't all year seen a quarterback that can attack him or them like that. With stand in the pocket with chaos, move around and get out of the pocket and manipulate their zone coverages. And it forced them to start having to play man-to-man, and they're not a good man-to-man football team, as we know. And it made them uncomfortable, and it was a great job by the Bills' offense and everybody involved.
So this is why I love Wednesdays, is because you take a deeper look at some of these plays. It's like we all know that Josh Allen played well, right? You saw the game. It's like, yeah, Josh Allen played well. Good game. Good stat line there for him. 4 touchdowns. But what exactly happened on some of those plays? That's one of them. And another play was another busted play here by the 49ers. They talked about afterwards.
Right.
It was that 28-yard touchdown to the rookie Gabriel Davis, who was wide open once again. Richard Sherman said there was a miscommunication on the field. Let me read part of his quote here. He said, "We're in palms coverage." This is what he said after the game. 2 into the flat. I adjusted, but we had a few busts on the play. The motion put us in a look we hadn't seen before, just a miscommunication down the line. So on that touchdown, that 28-yard touchdown to Gabriel Davis, what's palms coverage? What is he talking about?
Everybody has their own language. So palms, obviously to him, in normal, just basic NFL terminology, you'd call it two trap, right? That's what they would really call it. So here's the play, as you see. And let me just go back to the start and pause it if you can, Nicole, just so I can point it out to everybody and what's going on here. So you kind of show palms coverage, two trap. It plays like quarters. So the 2 receivers to the right are Beasley and Davis. If those 2 receivers go vertical, they're going to play quarters coverage. Everybody go back into their quarters and do that. But Sherman on the outside, as he's doing and playing his quarters coverage, he is looking at number 2, which is number 11 in this incident, or in this play. If 11 goes out or makes that break, now it goes from quarters to cover 2. And they kind of read it on the fly, right? Great example, just for a history lesson, Randy Moss, touchdown game, breaking single season touchdown record against the Giants. You remember that play? Week 17, you probably don't. It's a long pass.
We all don't have your memory, but Pete remembers.
But 16-0 season, and he caught like this 23rd touchdown pass of the year, a record. It still holds to this day. That was the Giants there. The same type of thing. They saw that's what the Giants and New England did that to them. So this is always on the radar for the Buffalo Bills. But within that, and you can see, all right, just go back one more time, Nicole, to the start here. So within this, there is the signal going around of palms. They're doing this, all right? They're banging their heads doing this. I see guys on the field doing that. After Richard Sherman, the touchdown, gets up, he looks up to the guys and goes, wait, I saw this. Yeah, because Jimmy Ward did it and Fred Warner did it. Mm-hmm. They both gave that signal. So in my what I would think is somewhere along the line, number 33, Tarvarius Moore, excuse me, I'm getting confused there. He should have got back to the half player there. He was, I think, totally confused. And if you want, let's go to the next gen stat, the play again, if we can show the dots.
Because he just floats in the middle of the field.
So he floats in the middle of the field and almost goes to the middle of the field like he's playing cover 3. Like it's not even on the same page as anything or anybody. The 2 guys on the left are playing that coverage. Those 2, the corner safety over there. Now, you see he's rotating toward the middle. So he must have been totally confused. And, at that point, it's just too late. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen read it. I think they were ready for the coverage anyways, knowing that they do that. So he was looking for that. But when he saw the safety fly over there, and I think when he looked at Cole Beasley and realized, wait, Richard Sherman's flat-footed, and I swear I just saw the safety go to the middle of the field.
Right.
I think that just brought him to it, and that was the easiest touchdown throw he'll make all year.
So last point on the Bills' offense here. 18 carries, 61 yards for Devin Singletary. One of them was on a 15-yard carry. So you take that out, he's averaging less than 3 yards per rush. Do they have enough of a running game with Josh Allen and the limited amount they're getting from Singletary and Moss to be dangerous and to be effective throughout the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I do think they need probably more. I do. But I don't think it has to be a whole lot more. It just has to be there a little bit to where it has to be respected by a defense to a degree to just let their play action passes still have an effect and all that. Those numbers to me are fine with the Buffalo Bills. I don't care. They're not a team I'm looking at and go, well, they need to have a running back touch the ball 20 times a game or 25 times a game. No, they just need the threat of that there to keep the defense respectful that way And in the playoffs, let's not forget, it's going to become more dangerous because they're not going to worry about protecting Josh Allen as much, and you'll see quarterback design runs, just like we saw last year when they played the Houston Texans. And that'll open that up a little bit more, too. So you'll see that. But I think the big thing is the development of their short passing game and Josh Allen's accuracy, ability to read and recognize defenses and do that is going to save their lack of a running game per se. You know, like I said, they need a little of it. But the pass game has everything now to where, you know, they just need to do it just to keep, like I said, defenses respecting it a little bit.
They can make the wow plays, but yet they can be surgical.
They
move
can.
Down the field.
That's
so
right.
They've got it all there. And what I do like about that is we flip the page over to the defensive side is on the offensive side, you know, 4th and goal. We saw them go for it, 4th and 1. They're aggressive. They're super aggressive with that. They think they can outscore teams. And if that means going for it and failing on a couple 4th and shorts, then that's going to be so be it. I think on the defensive side, and you noted this in your notes, is that they played with creativity and physicality on the defensive side. So it's almost like as a team effort, it's like they've ramped it up and they've got their eye on the prize. Like, we've got something special here. Let's go for it and let's not play it safe. Did you see that on the defensive side of the ball?
Definitely. Like, I thought it was by far the most physical game the Bills defense has played all year. And they've been better the last few weeks. You've been seeing it go this way. You know, the reason I didn't pick them is I don't think they're going to be able to man up and handle the 49ers in the run game. I just think the 49ers scheme, and then they'll just overpower Buffalo.
Which on the first drive, it looked like
that way. I mean, it looked that way. But I'm always a little like, whoa, it's just the first drive. Defenses are getting used to what's going on. Offense always has the advantage in the first drive for the most part. So they're just feeling it out. But, yeah, it didn't look good. But to your point there, the 49ers and their rushing stats, right? I mean, they ended up with, I just want to get this right, 86 total yards in the run game. Half of them came on the first drive. So that just tells you where the game went after that. Half of them, I think like 43 or 44 yards of rushing came on the first drive. So after that, the Bills had their freaking way on that side of the ball. The physicality and the health of the Bills, I think, are the first two things you have to talk about. You know, they've gotten healthy up front. You know, the Predator, Tremaine Edmonds, he's healthy. His shoulder's better. He's running around like a crazed animal, having some fun again. And you saw that in the football game, too. So I think that's the first thing. And then, you know, McDermott's approach on defense was phenomenal. You know, he gambled a few times. They played run. They were going to play the run. And there was a number of defenses during the game where they just went, we dare you to throw it. We're coming downhill to stop the run. And, you know, the 49ers, to their credit, they're stubborn with the run. They're not going to just let you scare them out of the best thing they do for no reason.
Yeah, they really don't want Nick Mullins throwing 40 times a game, although he almost did.
No, he almost did. And what does that lead to? It led to 2 mistakes and some other issues, and they don't win games, really, when they start to get in those type of numbers as a football team. But I think the biggest thing, more than anything, would be McDermott's defensive game plan with Leslie Frazier and how they adjusted to Kyle Shanahan. And I'm trying to get my thoughts here together so I make sense of this. But they know Kyle Shanahan's a code cracker. They know. McDermott's smart. He's watching film going, wait, he's got this team. He knows when they're in this formation, they can't do this, and I'm just going to abuse it. So what did McDermott do? He went, man, I can't just line up in what Kyle thinks I'm going to line up in. He is going to screw me over. He is going to crack my code, break the matrix, and all of a sudden we're going to be going, whoa, there's that run. So he did a lot of, hey, Kyle, here's this defense. And the quarterback's blue 85. Oh, yeah, we got our look. We're good, guys. We're good. We're going to run it just to where we want to. Blue 85. All of a sudden the defense changed. And now there's a blitz off this edge. And they're about to run the ball, and it's not what they want. It's not the look they want. So a lot of late disguises, movements, or not showing a blitz until it's set hut to where, oh, I think we have the weak side run. Wait, the nickel back and the weak side linebacker came? They didn't look like they were coming at all. They were showing like it was coverage. They gave us no context clues. So he was phenomenal in that, in self-scouting thyself, right, to realize Shanahan knows how to scout myself, and therefore I need to scout thyself so I can one-up him that way.
So they wanted to be more aggressive for sure against the run.
Yes.
They did not want to let the run beat them there. And
they were
going to be okay, or allow it at least, to give them a little more chance to beat them with the pass game.
Yeah, they were willing to take their chances that way, right? Yeah. I mean, you can't have it both ways always. And with an offense like Shanahan, you're not going to be able to have it both ways. You're just not going to be able to go, oh, we'll stop the run a little and then we'll stop all the passes. No, they went all out to say, we stop the run. Yeah, we might give up a few big pass plays here, but we don't really think your pass game is going to beat us with Nick Mullins at the end of the day. And we think that if you continue to throw, he'll make mistakes or leave points or yards on the board. And that's what he usually does too. It was a good game by him, but some crucial mistakes and some big moments, and which is how it always goes.
Right.
Hey, let me just say this while we're on this. I mean, Nick Mullins, there was a graphic during the game the other night. Through 13 starts, nobody in the history of football has thrown for more yards other than Patrick Mahomes and Andrew Luck. Well, that just tells you what coaching does and everything like that, because they're not even in the same universe, those three people right there.
Technically, they are.
Well, technically they are, but football-wise, they are not, okay? They got two that are like gods of football, and then one guy who's just been teamed up with a god-like coach who serves things up to him. But whenever he has to do something in a big moment or carry the team like a Luck or Mahomes, he's not capable of that. So that just tells you how coaching can help out a guy and things like that. I don't know why I added that in, but I just felt like I needed to.
So, 21 carries for the 49ers offense, 86 yards. You'll take that every day. So this was, bottom line on the Bills defense, they're healthier now, right? They're healthier than they have been.
Yes.
And this was the most physical that you've seen them?
Most physical. They've been creative through this run in general. They've been getting progressively more creative as they've gone along. I mean, really, I look at it ever since around the Jets game where they barely, 18-10, that New England Patriots game the next week started to, okay, wait, Buffalo's finally stopped being so vanilla. They're starting to do more and more stuff on that side of the ball. And, I think, the fact that, Quentin Jefferson, Phillips, Vernon Butler, Epinesa, Mario Addison, everybody's healthy. It's allowing them to throw fresh bodies out there, too. Even though they might not be all, like, the most talented group ever, at least they're fresh and they can fly around and put the pedal to the metal. And I think that's really the big thing. But McDermott, he's phenomenal. I mean, I respect him like I respect Kyle Shanahan on the offensive side of the ball. He's kind of a code cracker of his own on that side.
Yeah.
And that's why he's, one of the best head coaches in football.
Undefeated since the Hail Murray play.
Undefeated.
Which is really cool. And, I want Mike Tomlin to win Coach of the Year because I think he's never won it.
Right.
And I think he deserves it. Right. With the run that the Steelers have had. But, man, what a year for McDermott.
What a year. What a year. What a job he's done with that
That could have been a letdown. That could have been we go into a funk for a month.
Right.
It's been the opposite.
It's been the opposite. The team that won it's gone into a funk.
Kind of weird. Yeah.
And they've gotten better and better. And they outplayed the Cardinals that day. I mean, just think, man, this game Sunday night would be really interesting if Hail Murray didn't happen.
Yeah.
Buffalo, to wrap this up because we've talked about it enough, has gone for me in the last 3 weeks to playoff team that maybe wins one game to what I've seen with the growth of the offense and now the defense where it is. I go, no, they're a Super Bowl contender. It's official. They can go to the
Super Bowl contender.
They can.
One more stat on Allen. He had 159 yards on throws of 20 or more yards downfield Monday night. Drew Brees for the season, 174 yards on such throws. So he almost had as many yards downfield in one game as Drew Brees had all season in the games that he played. And that is increasing his playoff odds for Josh Allen. People see that. People like that.
Yeah.
And so his odds.
His MVP odds?
His MVP odds.
Okay.
The MVP odds provided by PointsBet Sportsbook. So you can see last week his MVP odds were plus 3,300. And now it's cut in half.
Yeah.
Plus 1,500. Still Patrick Mahomes, the overwhelming
And a huge
favorite.
lead. Like, what? Why?
Huge lead.
Can I ask that? Like, Pete, Ahmed, what? Why? Why?
You would put Josh Allen and even Aaron Rodgers closer to Mahomes?
I would definitely put Josh Allen closer. Aaron Rodgers should be in the lead for my money. Should be in the lead. And listen, you know.
Because of the lack of weapons that he has?
Yes. And, I mean, statistically, he's better. He's 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
That's true.
His quarterback rating's better. And definitely because of the lack of support next to him. And I'm not trying to say, I love Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's the most fun watch in football, but I'm just shocked. Mm-hmm. That's like No, we think he's 2 to 3 times more likely to win the MVP than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, so
I
it's
think
become
that's
a
little
records
high.
thing, though, too, right?
I know,
your
you're
team is 11-1. Your team finishes
Yeah.
14-2.
You're right.
Like last year with
I know.
Lamar. It's like, okay, let's pick the best player, the quarterback off that team.
Yeah, I know. It does work that way.
You
It's
don't-
hard.
you don't like it.
Well, I don't like it. It's hard to argue it with Mahomes, though. So you're not gonna hear me push back too much. It's not like he's a product of the system or the team. No, he's making the system and the team. So I can't argue that like a Rodgers-Mahomes combination there at quarterback.
You may have noticed on that graphic provided by PointsBet Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of NBC Sports, by the way, that Ben Roethlisberger's odds fell. He was plus 2,000, and after their first loss, he's now plus 5,000, which I do think if they had run the table 16-0, it would have been hard not to give it to him, because he's not been, special, like really, really great, but he's up there.
Yeah.
And he's certainly been a big reason why they've turned it around this year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.